Hey, this is Miss Cooper here with your week 12 information. We're going to be dealing with the timeline of events in the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. Yes, Ferguson, Missouri. And this is a while ago, 2019, August 8th, 2019 is the date of this article. So just kind of listen along and take all of your notes. So it says here on August 9th, 2014, Michael Brown and a friend were walking in the middle of Canefield Drive, a two-lane street in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson, Missouri, when a police officer drove by and told them to use the sidewalk. After words were exchanged, the white officer confronted the 18-year-old Brown, who was black. The situation escalated, with the officer and Brown I want to say, I hope I copied this right because I'm looking at it as I'm reading it. Yeah, this is the page one. Escalated with the officer and Brown. So we're going to stop it there and we're going to go up here. A timeline of key events that followed the shooting. This is on the second page. August the 9th, 2014. Brown's bloody body remains in the street for 4 hours in the summer heat. People in the neighborhoods later lash out at police saying they mistreated the body. August the 10th, 2014. After a candlelight vigil, people protesting Brown's death smash car windows and carry away armloads of food, alcohol, and other looted items from stores. Some protesters stand on police cars, taunting officers. A Quick Trip convenience store on the West Florissant Avenue, just blocks from where Brown was shot, is looted and burned. Other businesses are damaged or destroyed. It's the first of several nights of unrest. The protests helped solidify the Black Lives Matter movement formed in the wake of the 2012 death of black teenager Trayvon Martin in Florida and the acquittal of the Neighborhood Watch volunteer who shot him. August the 11th, 2014. The FBI opens an investigation into Brown's death, and two men who said they were shooting, who said they saw the shooting, tell reporters that Brown had his hands raised when the officer fired repeatedly. That night, police in riot gear fired tear gas and rubber bullets to try to disperse a crowd of protesters. And I'm sorry I had this printed so small for the in-person learners. Okay. The shift in command comes after images from the protests show many officers equipped with military-style gear, including armored vehicles, body armor, and assault rifles. In photos circulated online, officers are seen pointing their weapons at demonstrators. August 15, 2014, police identified the officer who shot Brown as Darren Wilson, who had been with the department since 2011, so he hadn't even been there that long. They also released surveillance video that shows Brown grabbing large amounts of cigarillos from behind the counter of the Ferguson market and pushing a worker who confronts him as he leaves the convenience store. Police say Brown took almost $50 worth of cigarillos. The release of the video upsets protesters. August 16, 2014. Missouri Governor Jay Nixon declares a state of emergency and imposes a curfew in Ferguson. August the 18th of 2014, Nixon calls the National Guard to Ferguson to help restore order. He lifts the curfew. August the 20th, U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder visits Ferguson to offer assurances about the investigation into Brown's death and to determine whether Wilson should be charged. August the 21st, Nixon orders the National Guard to withdraw from Ferguson. September 25th, Ferguson Police Chief Tom Jackson releases a videotaped apology to Brown's family and attempts to march in solidarity with protesters. The move backfires when Ferguson officers scuffle with demonstrators and arrest one person moments after Jackson, who is white, joins the group. November 17th, Nixon declares a state of emergency and activates the National Guard again ahead of a decision from the grand jury. He places Ferguson police in charge of security in Ferguson with orders for them to work as a unified command with other departments. November the 18th, Nixon names 16 people to the Ferguson Commission, an independent panel charged with examining race relations, failing schools, and other social and economic issues. 9 of its members are black, 7 are white. November 24th, St. Louis County Prosecutor Bob McCullough announces that the grand jury has decided not to indict Wilson. Protests that were passionate but peaceful earlier the day turned violent. At least a dozen buildings and multiple police cars are burned. Officers are hit by rocks and batteries, and reports of gunfire forced some St. Louis-bound flights to be diverted. The Justice Department reached an agreement that ends the lawsuits and requires sweeping reforms of the city's police and court systems. April the 4th, incumbent Mayor James Knowles III, who is white, is reelected to a third three-year term, overcoming opposition from Ella Jones, a black city councilwoman. June 20th, a federal judge in St. Louis approves a wrongful death lawsuit settlement that awards Brown's parents $1.5 million. July 26th, the Ferguson Community Empowerment Center opens at the site where the Quick Trip convenience store burnt the day after Brown's death. The center houses the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis, the Salvation Army, other offices. September 15th, former St. Louis City Police Officer Jason Stockley, who is white, is acquitted of the 2011 death of 24-year-old Anthony Lamar Smith, who was black. Smith was suspected of making a drug transaction and killed after a car chase with the police. The massive protests that followed Stockley's acquittal are the largest in St. Louis region since the immediate aftermath of Brown's death. August the 7th, 2018, in a stunning upset, Ferguson City Councilwoman Wesley Bell defeats 28-year incumbent McCullough in the Democratic primary for St. Louis County Prosecutor. Bell, who is black, was unopposed in the November election and took office in January of 2019. So that's a lot of interesting information. We'll get some videos and talk about it in class. Please make sure you take all of your notes. If there are any questions attached, please answer those as well. Thank you for being here.